to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome in.
It's football time! Yeah!
My ears are bleeding.
Good.
Welcome into the show, the Fantasy Footballers Podcast.
It's time, baby.
Yeah. The
It's
playoffs begin.
Let the big dog eat.
I just
Clean his nose.
I just feel the Batman Joker, and here we go. You know, it's like playoffs are here. Everything you live or die now.
Yes. Yeah.
If he dies, he dies.
Are you going fishing? Are you getting a trophy?
Yeah, you already driving, Jay?
I am thrilled that in our league of record,
He's got it mapped out.
Yeah, in our league of record, I am thrilled that
My bags are
my
packed.
team, my opponent's team,
I'm ready to
no
go.
players tonight. So I've delayed my flight to the fishing well. I'm
The fishing well.
yeah, that's where I go fishing. In a well, it's much easier.
Thursday, he throws the fish in the well,
Yeah.
and then he just catches them.
You know, you've heard of fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
You ever heard of fish in a well?
Golly. Thursday, December 11th. Welcome in, one and all. We'll get into the matchups today. We do have a Thursday night football game, and it should be pretty exciting. A lot of decisions to be made. The Mike Evans being back out there, does that lift Baker Mayfield back to where he belongs? Does Emeka Egbuka get it going? Bucky Irving, he's back, and he has a big role to play. Like you said, you don't have anybody playing. I got Bucky playing tonight in our listener league first-round matchup. So it'll be an exciting one. Bijan out there as well. I've tried to think about whether the Tampa defense is good enough to play tonight. Kind of gone back and forth on that. But lots going on. The fantasyfootballers.com is the website. All the weekly rankings, the start sit tool, all the articles, ultimate dashboard. We see all the posts and the tweets on Twitter. We do try to answer a lot of them every week, all three of us. We will not get to all of them, and I apologize. But we do have the rankings on the site and the start sit tool and ways to answer those questions to where you can blame us and not yourself.
Not me.
Without us replying.
Don't blame me.
But
Blame those guys.
and a reminder that we're here all year long, even after the playoffs. If you want a bonus episode of the show, you can do that. Jointhefoot.com. Support the podcast. We are an independent podcast. We always have been. I imagine we always will be.
Yeah, most likely.
Most likely, yeah. So there you go. Let's talk some news.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Updates for tonight. Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan, both activated off of IR, both questionable for tonight. Evans is the one we have the most, I guess, news and information and momentum.
I mean, McMillan is irrelevant. Nobody's going to be playing McMillan, but Mike Evans should be active tonight. I do think they will have him on a pitch count. Thankfully, it wasn't a lower body injury, so this is like his cardio should be
Wasn't it? I thought it was both.
Well, he had the collarbone.
It was. I think he did both at the exact
no.
same.
It was the concussion and
Yeah,
collarbone.
it was-
is that what it was?
Jason's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
So
His lower body's been just perfect.
cardio should be there, but the Grizzler, last week was saying that they're going to bring him along a little bit slowly. Now he's the type of player that can go out there and have a 46-yard touchdown and one catch, have a good game. I've got him in my 30s. My wide receiver,
Yeah, and he's such a veteran that if he tells you what he wants to do, they may listen.
Yeah.
But
He was just back from his hamstring injury when he got the collarbone.
yes, he did have the long-term hamstring injury. He is prone to that.
he only needs to average 215 yards per game
We know what that means.
to hit his 1,000.
Yeah, they'll feed him, right?
I mean, one of these games he's going for 300.
Kyle Pitts officially questionable. He'll play. They've been kind of managing his snaps. Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer said CeeDee Lamb has 2 more hurdles to clear in the NFL's concussion protocol.
I don't like hearing that, but I do like seeing him at practice, which he was.
It's all been very positive.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, everything.
You think CeeDee Lamb can't handle a hurdle or two?
I just want one hurdle. I want hey, he's got the final hurdle. If they say that.
He's not, Mason Taylor. Meow. He can get up over a hurdle. Woody Marks, Nick Chubb did not practice on Wednesday. Uh-oh.
I am more concerned for Chubb to miss. I think Woody Marks will be okay. I think this is a managing of a man who got, 26? 26 carries,
yep.
And they're going to be heading into the weekend, which I'm projecting Chubb to be out. They're like, whew. Woody Marks is going to have to touch the ball a lot. But
yeah, that wasn't the plan.
Attention.
That was the Chubb injury, so we'll see what they do second up behind Woody Marks. Marvin Harrison Jr. did not practice on Wednesday. He just doesn't seem like a guy that wants to play right now. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, have you heard John Gannon talk?
Oh, man.
I don't want to play for that guy.
Yeah. Do it.
Number 2.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is. Again, Andy.
Number 2.
Got him.
We can fire him.
Alvin Kamara did not practice on Wednesday. Devin Neal was limited. Pat Bryant did not practice. And he's probably not playing. Benjamin Albright said he's expected to be sidelined.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, he was out on the field. He's making his rookie progression to where it's like, hey, now we've got a good full-time starter, and then gets hurt.
We had Jaden Daniels ruled out yesterday. It'll be Marcus Mariota. We did have positive news on T. Higgins, limited,
which is
in the concussion protocol.
Mind-blowing.
What? How it what?
When you get a concussion and then you come back and then you hit your head and go in the blue medical tent for a concussion, and then you come back and then you hit your head,
another one,
and then you're basically ruled out with a concussion. That's usually where you shelve a guy for a while, but he is practicing, so
I can't imagine he plays.
I'm not a neuroscientist, okay?
What?
Yeah, I know. A lot of people think I am.
I actually thought you were.
Yeah, I know. I've got to say it, but I feel like it's dumb and
short-sighted.
malpractice to put a guy who keeps having his head hurt back on the field that quickly.
You want to get out there for your team. I get it. He talked about that as well, trying to be the soldier and everything. But when your team can go from a 1% chance to make the playoffs to a 3% chance
with a
win, and your brain is kind of beat up
and important.
Your brain?
Oh yeah, I'm again not a neuroscientist.
You're breaking news all over the place.
But I really do think it's one of the important pieces of the human body.
Did you attend any med school?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I could tell. That was News and Notes, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. Oh me, oh my, it's playoff starts of the week.
Starts of the week.
No pressure, guys. Just the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, Mike, why don't you go ahead and lead us off?
My start of the week at the quarterback position, I'm going with Jackson Dart against the Washington Manders.
I love it.
Only Josh Allen is averaging a higher fantasy points per drop back this season. So it's not just getting it done on the ground, which Jackson Dart at home averaging 43 rushing yards per game. I would say that is the most questionable thing about Dart is he didn't have a designed run. The last time we saw him, he got exploded on the sideline. Will they run him as much? That's the question. But even if that's like the bonus, that's the icing, because I think that Dart can get it done just as a pocket passer. Washington dead last in yards per pass attempt allowed, and they are 30th in schedule-adjusted fantasy points to the quarterback position.
Little sidebar. Do you like Darius Slayton or Wandale by extension?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay. Theo.
Yes, I'm into the Giants this week.
I came to put Jackson Dart in as the playoff start of the week, and he was already in under Mike. So I agree that I can't imagine not wanting to play him.
No, man, you gotta stay out just in case it goes bad.
Yeah, no, I love that start. I'm playing Jackson Dart over Baker in I believe Listener League. Lamar Jackson is going to be my start of the week for the fantasy playoffs.
Oh man,
I get it.
I'm not going to tell you I'm not a little nervous about saying the name out loud, which seems impossible, especially against a 31st ranked passing defense that gives fantasy points up. Just the most benevolent defense that you've ever come across. Lamar was in the top 10 last week. He had his most rushing yards since week 4.
This is third highest of the year.
This is the most must-win game for Baltimore. I think you can have confidence playing him. I do.
He's my quarterback 3 on the week. If I had him, I'm absolutely playing him. My start of the week in the playoffs. Introducing Jared Goff. Jared Goff, look, this is revenge at the core. He's going back to Los Angeles, playing against the Rams. This game has a 55.5 point over-under. 55! The Rams are very difficult. I know.
Mike's Jason's start of the week is got all the drops.
The Rams are very difficult to run on, and I hope that is very true this week for Jahmyr Gibbs. He's been going 3 touchdowns, no touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, no touchdowns. Look,
the people need Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, half the people need Jahmyr Gibbs to be bad, so I'm with that half. Okay,
yeah.
But my point is, against the Rams, it is difficult to run on, and against the Rams, opponents are averaging 36 pass attempts per game. In 29 games as a Lion, where Goff hits 36 pass attempt threshold, he averages basically 300 yards and 2 touchdowns a game. The over-under, there's going to be so many points scored here, so I would be okay playing Jared Goff.
Is that because of this guy? I just wanted to show the lights. We fixed it.
Yay.
If you saw it on the YouTube.
And Andy, you're not so angry looking today.
Oh, the red light is gone.
You really chilled out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't
the
Hulk out.
sunburn has healed.
An owl is back. Coincidence? No. No, it's
back, baby.
It's the reason.
My running back
Just reminds me of filming Spitballers yesterday.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Did you hear about that,
I
Al?
did, yeah. Matt let me know.
Yeah, the fill-in Papa Josh just forgot how the games are played. He was totally unprepared with the answers to the whole game. We played a game.
The teacher showed up without the answers to the quiz.
It's like, okay, now what's the answer?
Is that right? I don't know.
You just tell me what the answer
I'm
is.
supposed to have the answers to this game.
All right, running back
Tune
Mike.
in Monday to the Spitballers pod.
Yeah, there you go. My running back start of the week, we mentioned it because he didn't practice today or yesterday. I think he goes. If he doesn't play, I won't play him. However, if he's active, Woody Marks against Arizona. The running back, 14 last week in Arrowhead, 29 opportunities. He will be the focal point of the offense, and Arizona is just getting crushed by the running back position. I mean, the recent one, of course, of the Corum and Kyron Williams combination, but it's not just those two guys. They've been getting destroyed at the running back position all year long, 27th in schedule-adjusted points, and the Texans are 9.5-point home favorites. Love a starting running back in that condition.
So you want Woody Marks, and I was like, yeah, I want a guy that didn't practice on Wednesday either.
Yeah.
But I think it's Chris Rodriguez this week.
I am in.
You know, again, he didn't practice Wednesday. He did the same thing last week. I hope he's fine. And if he's not fine, don't play him. But he's taking on the Giants. You're talking about trying to find somebody you have confidence in. He has scored 4 rushing touchdowns since week 7. He is the preferred running back. It is a good matchup. The Giants are almost dead last in all the major metrics against running backs, rushing yards allowed per game. He runs hard, and I think, you know, he's got more touchdowns than James Cook or Bijan Robinson since week 7. I think Chris Rodriguez is an actual, real option this week.
Agreed.
What was it, 2 or 3 years ago? Who was the backup running back for Washington?
Jarrett Patterson?
Jarrett Patterson.
Oh, yeah.
Who won people fantasy championships, and it was a hard thing to say out loud. But
yeah, he was in our lineup.
Yeah, he was.
Mike and I, Dino Jr.
I think Chris Rodriguez will have a role this year.
Yeah.
Or this playoffs.
Yeah, for the playoffs, sometimes you need someone who can go nuclear. That's what I'm hoping for and calling here from Travis Etienne. He is the running back 11 on the season. He's averaging 18.5 opportunities per game, and he's quietly been a top 12 back 5 of the last 6 weeks since Jacksonville's bye week. Basharal Tutin, last week, 3% of the snaps, 2 carries. So this is a matchup against the Jets' rush defense that's 30th in rushing yards allowed. They're 28th in rushing touchdowns allowed, 28th in schedule-adjusted fantasy points allowed. The matchup is perfect. They are huge favorites, 12.5-point home favorites. And when Jacksonville wins the game, on average right now, ETN's basically 15 fantasy points a game. So I think you're going to need a massive week in your playoffs, and I believe you get one this week from ETN.
My wide receiver start of the week is Emeka Egbuka, a.k.a. Amika Egbegbu. I don't have the drop if you want it.
Emeka Egbegbu.
It's been
I don't know if
bad.
that drop's been good for him.
It has been brutal. The last month, outside of the top 40 each of the last
Gronk
4 weeks.
curse him?
Perhaps. But I will uncurse him for everyone here. We're back, baby. Atlanta, their pass defense since week 8, against wide receivers, dead last. The targets are still there. You can't be as talented as Ibuka is, getting 9, 8, 8, and 9 targets and not have a situation where it finally clicks and happens. I think Mike Evans being back is a good thing for Ibuka. You can't, he doesn't have to carry the pressure of being the number one guy for the entirety of the game. And I think that he's good enough. I think that the numbers and the target share plus the matchup, I understand the fear. Starting out your fantasy playoffs on Thursday night with Amika Egbegbu, but I would do it.
Fear is a good word to summarize all three of our starts of the week at wide receiver.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going DK Metcalf on Monday Night Football. You're starting on Thursday Night Football, Mike. I'm going Monday Night Football.
Get him some Pepto.
You might have
And yourself some Pepto.
You might have your entire season on the line. Takes on Miami. You love the target share last week. Too important to this offense. Miami's pass defense is allowing the highest completion percentage in the NFL. I think you're going to have a nice follow-up performance from DK Metcalf. I want to give people confidence to make that decision.
Yeah, to complete the trifecta of scary wide receiver starts of the week,
Oh, man.
I'm picking someone who has 4 receptions and 15 yards combined in his last 2 games. And he might be the best wide receiver in the National Football League. It is Justin Jefferson. So difficult to choose to start a guy who has been so irrelevant with 9 at quarterback. But if you want help in making that decision, you're looking at him and say, can I start him? I'm telling you, you can. The Dallas Cowboys defense, if not now, win. Okay, they're 32nd in passing yards allowed.
Said that last
32nd
week.
in passing
Never
touchdowns
is an
allowed.
answer.
Yeah.
32nd in schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed to wide receiver. It is the worst matchup for the best wide receiver in football. He can break tackles. He's going to have a decent game this week, and I am giving you the permission to put it all on me. So if he
What was the tackle breaking
man.
about?
if I'm saying that the Cowboys are such a bad defense that we just got to get the ball in Justin Jefferson's hands.
Agreed.
And he can make things happen on the field against the poorest defense. So this is permission. Justin Jefferson has a bad week. You lose your playoffs. That's Jason Moore's fault.
It's the right time to do it.
So
We
you
had
put
this,
it on me.
We had this conversation yesterday, and I was just having fun with it.
No, it was terrifying.
I completely believe in Jefferson this week.
That phrase, if not now, when? And never. Never for the rest of the year. That one is terrifying.
It is terrifying. I mean, McCarthy looked better last week.
Yes,
Threw
he did.
3 touchdowns. They
do
all
you
went to
want to
tight
do
ends.
like a little bit of a solo cam guarantee just so that the audience knows who?
He said it's on him.
No, I know, but I just want something clippable.
I don't think I – all right, here's
That's not a solo
Justin
cam.
Jefferson should be started in your playoffs, and if he has a bad game, it's my fault, not yours.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It can't be like JJ McCarthy's fault
Could
Well,
I
we
get
all
the
know
solo
the truth.
cam real quick?
on.
Justin Jefferson, if he has a good game, I would also like a little bit of credit. Thank you.
All right,
So
go,
you
go
get
to,
the credit.
Go to me.
Yeah, that's what I was
Go
talking
to
about.
me.
Go.
Give me
All
the light. Don't do it. All right.
We got our bases covered.
We got all the social
No, I
media
really- like-
clips needed.
I think I'm taking a bad
I am with you that matchups do matter so much, and the Dallas Cowboys matchup has given us just delectable goodies all season long. It better work. It better. Now that's me talking to the Vikings. It better freaking work.
Oh man!
All right.
all right.
My tight end start of the week.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm stacking with Jackson Dart. There's a lot of fun options at tight end this week, but Theo Johnson, I'm stacking him with perhaps his best buddy, Jackson Dart. We're getting some whispers out of New York that we may have a bromance going
Whoa.
between Theo.
Like Scatterbo got dropped that quick?
Well, Scatterbo can't play right now.
I know.
Also, you can
What a
have
sad guy.
You can have a couple bros, man.
Yeah.
You could bro down.
Yeah.
Well, it was 4-4-6. You know, now it's just 8-4-6. So
Right.
the numbers were close enough where they can just change it.
5 top 10 performances since week 5. He's on pace for 89 targets, 600 yards, and 7 touchdowns. That's the part we like, is the 7 touchdowns, and that puts Theo Johnson in a position to be in a list of names that's you want to be associated with Kittle, Kraft, Brock Bowers. I like Theo Johnson this week. I like him long term as well. Also, Washington is 31st in schedule adjusted points to the tight end position. They're not as bad as the Cincinnati Bengals, but over the last 2 weeks they have been.
Yeah, I kind of I locked in Dalton Kincaid as my start of the week at tight end. I vacillated a little bit, thought about throwing Isaiah Likely in there, who I love this week, so he's honorable mention. But I'm staying with Dalton Kincaid. The Dawson Knox news that not practicing. Dalton Kincaid right back into the lineup, right back into the end zone last week. He is really their top option, and I have been on record this week. I think that the Buffalo Bills are going to crush the New England Patriots. I think that's what happens this week, and I think after this week, everybody will be with me with the level of confidence that I have that the Buffalo Bills will be the AFC champions this year. That's saying a lot of things into a microphone.
It is.
But it's what I believe, and this is a team in the Patriots that, not only do I think Buffalo will succeed and that Dalton Kincaid is the top option, let's throw in the fact that they're bottom 5 against tight ends. They don't see the tight end position well at all. 27th in receptions allowed to opposing tight ends. Kincaid is that important. He's that talented. They don't have the other pass catchers they need, and Josh Allen is going to be the one that they put in control in this game. So I like Kincaid.
Dalton Kincaid barely plays, and he's done it all year long.
All year long.
He barely plays, and yet when he's on the field,
When he's on the field,
if you're a defense, I don't know how you're like, oh, guys, Kincaid's on the field. Double cover him.
Well, I think the thing is he's off the field so much you forget. You're like, they let their guard down, and then they sneak him on the
backup's
field.
in.
Yeah, and then they don't guard. It's next level coaching.
I want to follow up on this. I think Dawson Knox is fine.
Okay.
So I think he will still get his snaps. It doesn't change anything for but I wanted to look in to see if there's anything follow-up. I think it might be just personal reasons that he was out.
Oh, okay.
So
my start of the week, Mark Moneybag Andrews.
Uh-oh.
Money bag? They
just
fit
one bag?
all that
All
money
of it
in one bag?
one bag.
That's a huge bag.
That's a huge bag.
They call me Moneybag.
Yeah. Look, the snap route participation, it's still Mark Andrews. Last week, 79% of the routes Mark Andrews was on. They're playing the Cincinnati Bengals, which has given us glory. I think you could start Isaiah Likely as well. Isaiah Likely had 96 yards against the Bengals a couple weeks ago. He is that tight end 2 that we talked about. We talked about yesterday, like the tight end 2 for their respective teams. Dawson Knox last week against the Bengals has good games. But I hope you didn't hear what we weren't saying, which is the tight end 1 is even better.
Right.
The tight end 1 is still dominating. The tight end 1 for teams against Cincinnati, if you added their yards up, they would be 7th most in the league. Not like at tight end, just behind Jackson Smith-Njigba, Puka, Pickens, Chase, Amon-Ra, and Trey McBride. And then it would be whoever is tight end 1 against the Bengals. So Mark Andrews should be started.
There's your start of the weeks. Starts of the week.
Moneybag.
Moneybag guy, you confused.
Yeah, you got
now.
me. Where do S's go? Let's take a break. We'll jump into the forecast.
All right. We are in the heart of the fantasy season, and the injuries are already piling up. ACLs, stingers, and turf toes, oh my. In fact, the only thing right now that feels good is having the perfect backup ready to go. So wouldn't it be great if you had a perfect backup in real life too? With Progressive, you get more than just a policy. You get a playbook full of coverage options that you can count on for your home or for your auto. You want to customize your protection? No problem. You can build your coverage just like your fantasy team, making sure you got the right players in every position and a backup plan when you need it most. And when life throws an audible, like that fumble in the driveway or a hailstorm at home, Progressive is there with 24/7 support. Don't get caught without a great backup. Visit Progressive.com to quote today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party issuers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to term, policy, limits, and conditions.
You guys remember in dodgeball when he's offering LaFleur the money, and he's like, "You might be like you've never seen it," and because he opens the case, you're like, "Oh, that's not very much. This actually looks really small for that amount of money."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Kyle. I don't know if you've ever seen $100,000.
Here we go.
Fantasy Forecast, presented by Prize Picks.
Let's start with cold one. Cleveland, 3-10, taking on the Chicago Bears at 9-4. Big game for the Bears. If they win, their odds of making the playoffs 71%. If they lose this game, under 50%. This might be one of the coldest games in the history of Soldier Field.
What?
Yeah, 10 degrees.
The game time temperature,
Goosh.
that would be the fourth coldest ever.
I mean, how cold was that one Kansas City game where they're like,
Where people got
yeah,
frostbite?
they're like, "Oh, guys, you better take care of yourself here. Stay safe, everyone."
It's you know what's all the rage I hear is the
Domes?
well, no, it's the clothes with all the heating mechanisms inside of it and the batteries. And
like a battery
the
powered?
vests with the heating vests and stuff.
That game was -4 with a wind chill of -27 in Kansas
So
City.
this is warm.
Compared to that
Yeah,
one?
no
Yeah.
complaints. Guess what? Since the Week 5 bye, the Bears rank number 1 in yards per game.
It's because they're running the ball like crazy.
Yeah, 175 rushing yards per game. You know, we'll see what happens in this one for their defense and whether they can step up.
And, I mean, a shocking stat to combo with that. Since the bye week in Week 9 for the Cleveland Browns, they are the third best matchup for running backs.
Like
Yep.
you can run against
Yeah,
them.
The
You're
last
talking
6 weeks, they're
Jets.
averaging 20,
Pollard.
28 points given up.
It wasn't just Pollard, but it's like the Jets, Baltimore, Vegas. You know, McCaffrey, I think below expectation, but that's because McCaffrey's expectations is astronomical for him to hit every single week. And then Tony Pollard, both Swift and Kyle Monangai are in play for me.
Well, I agree with that. The Browns, conversely, number 1 against wide receivers. They give up 13 fantasy points total to wide receivers. So that kind of makes you ask questions about Caleb and you know, the other pass catchers.
I would prefer not to play Caleb this week.
Does that go for pretty much anybody that runs a route for that team? Colson, Loveland, DJ Moore, Luther Burden?
No, I'm still okay with them because what's your replacement look like? I think you can find a replacement in single quarterback. I think you can find a better option than Caleb this week.
I feel like this
Like
week you could find-
Mariota against the Giants, I would play Mariota.
I agree with that, but I think that the same is true at tight end. There's a lot of good tight end matchups.
Okay, that's fair.
Isaiah
Over
Likely,
Mr. Loveland.
Theo Johnson.
The guy on the other side?
Yes, Fannin?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, I'd
Fannin.
play
So
Fannin
I
for sure.
don't think I'm starting really any pass catcher for the Bears.
I haven't seen – I think Harold Fannon's been in the most questions I've seen on Twitter because people want to know, do you play him over Tyler Warren in that game in Seattle?
I would.
Do you play him over Mark Andrews? Do you play him over Colson Loveland?
Loveland for sure. Andrews is tough because he might just catch 3 passes for 2 touchdowns. His ceiling is so high, but
I think Fannin is –
I like Fannin a lot.
Yeah.
He's right now in my ranks number 2. He's going to see a massive target share. Shador, if the offense is going to function at all, it will be because of Fannin.
And they're you know, their defense, the Bears, over the last 6 weeks, 23rd against opposing quarterbacks, 30th against wideouts, 20th against tight ends. Fannin has been into the end zone the last 2 weeks, top 10 tight end for the last 2 weeks. To me, you know, if you're not dissuaded by the cold here, I don't see what other reason you shouldn't like Fannin.
I mean, the last 3 weeks for Fannin, a 33% target share, 22, 29. And I think those are – is Sanders at 3 starts? Let me just So Shedeur has started 3 games, and then over that span, Harold Fant is averaging. Let me pull it up. A 28% target share.
Yeah, I think he's a must start.
He is for me.
I wonder though, is Shedeur going to throw for a 364 and
No.
4 this week?
Probably
I
not.
doubt it. I doubt he ever does that again.
Ever?
Ever.
Ever?
Yeah, ever.
Ever.
Quinshon Judkins,
Yeah.
play him with an understanding that, look, the running games, they may be the focal point of this entire matchup. Chasing Jerry Jeudy, 60-yard touchdown,
No
Jason.
way. No, the Bears are a good matchup for wide receivers. They give up a lot of yards, but I'm not going to go into my playoffs relying on Jerry Jeudy. No, you cannot make me do that.
Not when you can rely on Justin Jefferson.
I mean, he had 3 for 76 this last week and a good matchup.
I know. I agree.
Prior to that, 3 for 26, 1 for 39, 3 for 21.
Wait, are you reading Jefferson's lines or
Jerry Jeudy's?
Jefferson's much lower.
That's true. But if I read back far enough, you'll see that one of those players is good.
There's no, like, you can, I think what Mike is insinuating with this sound is just that Jerry Jeudy could have a good game.
Yes.
But I don't think any of us are going to, with all the options you have at wide receiver, turn that direction. I would.
He's the perfect guy where it's like, if I'm deciding between Jerry Jeudy or Mike Evans, I'm going Mike Evans.
Jerry Jeudy or DJ Moore?
I'll play DJ Moore.
See?
That's what
I'm
we're
saying.
at.
Like, there is a line where Jerry Jeudy comes into play.
Okay, you got a good line.
What's your answer, Jason?
I think I would go Jeudy there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, DJ Moore's
You love him.
Stop.
Baltimore 6-7. Don't. Cincinnati 4-9. I got to be on guard now. Vegas line, Baltimore minus 2.5, over under 52.5. My goodness. It's a great over under. It's the second highest over under ever for a Ravens Bengals game. Lamar's the start of the week. Both of these teams, like, if Baltimore loses this game, their playoff chances go to 12%.
Yep.
If Cincinnati loses this game, their season's over.
Yep. If Cincinnati loses, their pie in the sky it collapses. The Ravens would jump to 48% to make the playoffs and drop to 12 if they lose.
The Bengals on the year right now have a 21 points. I don't know how to say this. A 21-point better point differential.
Yeah, that worked.
So then the Bengals
close
too,
enough.
which is crazy. Man, this game will have a lot of fantasy value, and we might have T. Higgins back in it.
I still don't think he'll be cleared, but it's possible.
Yeah. And if he's out, Joseph you can play him. I know Tinsley got the targets.
I really think Gesicki is the one I want to focus on.
I would
can't
agree.
talk.
You can't put him in a wide receiver position.
I would agree that when Higgins is out, Gesicki takes a massive leap forward. But there are certain teams that I really don't chase tight ends against.
And Baltimore's one of them.
Baltimore's absolutely one of them. Baltimore, Eagles, like there's teams that they just give up nothing to tight ends.
Okay, that's fair. And then Andrews and Likely, we love them both because, I mean, listen to these numbers. The Bengals give up. It's enough to say, okay, you're the worst in the league. We already know that. We've been saying it. But just look at the true they give up 25 fantasy points a game.
It's
half PPR.
It's pronounced worst.
Correct.
We
There's a lot.
could have an hour-long podcast just talking about crazy statistics of the Bengals guarding tight ends.
Yeah, I mean, 25 fantasy points a game. We are in week 15, folks.
Right.
We've been doing this for a long time. That is what you settled in at as your average.
Yeah.
And it's not the last 6 weeks. The last 6 weeks, they give up 24.8. But also on the year, they give up 24.8.
It's so incredible. They also haven't played any of the top 5 tight ends. So if you're like, oh, well, they must have played McBride and Kelsey and Ferguson and Warren and Bowers. No, none of them.
No, that's schedule adjusted.
So how many points?
That's Jackson Hawes fantasy points.
How many points on average?
24.8.
Trey McBride is the tight end 1 right now on the season. And in the half-point format, he's averaging 14.5 points.
Yeah, I mean, there's room for
This is why
two.
you can play Likely as well.
Yeah, there's room for 2 here. Both of them are definite plays. Whether I don't know if I buy into the any must start Zay Flowers discussion here. I think he had a nice week. Zay Flowers does have nice weeks.
He's startable.
He is startable, but I would prefer to look elsewhere. It's very difficult to throw to the wide receiver position.
I would play Flowers
when the tight ends are wide open, and that's really only. Oh no, definitely Justin Jefferson.
I would play Flowers.
Oh, that's I mean,
that sounded like two guys that really want to bet that.
I would bet that. I would bet Justin Jefferson versus Zay Flowers.
Sure,
no problem.
I would do that too.
Sweet.
Water bet.
It sounds like a joke when I say the tight ends are so open that you can't throw to wide receivers because you only have one ball. But that's what's happened so far this year. The Bengals' defense is terrible. They're top 5 basically against wide receivers because all the points go to the tight end.
It should be real good for Derrick Henry here. Like the way that the Lamar Jackson situation for me gets turned on its head and he's not a start of the week is because I think Henry could have one of those games. Like the 203 type of game.
Whoa.
This is not a good rushing defense.
Right.
In Cincinnati. And it is a high over-under, and I'm excited for this game. It should be awesome. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, they're in your lineup.
Yep. Chase Brown, we got to hope we get some more snaps and that that last week was, that was a lot of Pirine, and hopefully it was the game script. It was, Chase Brown still came through with multiple touchdowns, but he remains, I think, a strong start.
The Los Angeles Chargers at 9-4 go to Arrowhead to take on the desperate Chiefs.
What is the?
Who have a 6-win, 7-loss record.
You're just trying to sneak them in there?
The Vegas line is Kansas City minus 5.5. This over-under is just 41.5. With a win, the playoffs become a 93% certainty.
For the Chargers.
With a loss, 60%.
Now, I was looking up the Kansas City Chiefs playoff projections with Mike earlier, and I did not realize. Mike, do you have the outlook for the Chiefs? Because it blew my mind. I was like, okay, so all these teams are like, if they win, they go to 67% to 90% to whatever.
This is from NFL.com, a piece they put out on a couple days ago. The Chiefs right now in their analysis they have a 10% chance to make the playoffs right now as it stands. Should they win, that will jump to 16%. If they lose, it's sub 1.
If they win the game, they're at 16% chance.
Well, the big thing for them is I feel like obviously this is their season, this one game, because you play Tennessee, you're going to win that game. You play Denver at home, you got a good chance. You play the Raiders, you're going to win that game. You can do all of that and still not make the playoffs because you need help. So this game is everything for the Chiefs.
What's your feel? Who's winning?
I think the Chiefs win the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean they're 5.5-point favorites. I think it'll be a dogfight. I don't know if we're super happy with the fantasy production.
Is this like a almost upset situation or?
I mean the Chiefs are favored by 5.5.
The Chiefs are favored. So if I believe the Chiefs are going to win and they're favored, that can't be an upset.
Well, but you think they're going to cover that 5.5?
Where are you? Wait, you were changing the rules of this thing?
No, sorry.
There's nobody upsetting anybody here.
Right.
But Kansas City is. I think they'll handle their business. I mean, it's just going to be a tough one. Like Herbert didn't play that well last week. That was another dogfight. They went to overtime.
That's Eagles.
Yeah, but the Chiefs are a great defense as well. They're top 10 against quarterbacks. They're number 2 against running backs.
Not
over
lately,
the last
though.
6 weeks.
Not lately.
But a cold game at home in Arrowhead with your season on the line, I expect the Chiefs to show up and play some bully ball.
I expect you to tell me which Chiefs I can start.
You could start Rashee Rice. I'm not too worried about a down game. And I also think you can start Kareem Hunt. Lately, you've been able to run on the Chargers. They're more of a run funnel type of team. And you're talking about a guy who just finds his way into the end zone. 24 rushing touchdowns over the last 3 seasons. That is 2 more than Christian McCaffrey. That's as many as Saquon Barkley.
Left an S off again.
Did I?
Yeah, you said the last 3 seasons.
That's no idea.
Yeah, you did.
No, I don't believe it.
Yeah, you can't pluralize anything, man.
Heck the tape.
You suck at pluralizing.
Oh, apparently.
Oh, man. Words are hard.
I'm sorry. You suck at pluralize.
Yeah.
So you believe in Kareem Hunt this game? Would you play him over Chris Rodriguez?
I think I would. Yeah, I mean it's tough because Kareem Hunt is obviously splitting, but he gets the touchdown opportunities. I mean, he's got a touchdown. Literally, I'm looking at the game log here,
I think
and
it's 5 of 6.
It's 5 of the last 6 games with a touchdown.
Interesting. Hampton. Did we like what we saw in the first game back, Mike?
Oh, yes. Yeah. He eye test, he looked great. I do believe that Vidal Sassoon will be I think this is a timeshare for the remainder of the season. I don't think Hampton's going to simply take over. Hampton is the more playable one. I think that touchdown upside does go to him, but Vidal he's not out of like a flex type of a play.
You do wonder
double flex.
You wonder with Hampton back and Vidal playing well, if the recipe will be more of what we saw last week, which is both of those guys got a lot of opportunities. But that also meant Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, Oronde Gadsden. They did nothing. Now, I know, again, it was Philly. It was the matchup. But this has a low over-under. Like, I do see a world where these aren't good options this week.
I was making a prize pick lineup. Oh, my gosh, I did it again. That wasn't a joke. What's wrong with my brain?
He just said he made a prize pick lineup.
What are you doing?
Anyways, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still under the weather, okay? I'm pushing through. I'm being a warrior. I'm being a warrior.
I got sick, and now I just dropped my S's. What are you?
Anyways, I was making a prize picks lineup.
Doctor, what are the symptoms? Runny nose,
sore throat.
Hey, your chest might be a little tight.
And I haven't been able to pluralize for a few days.
I've been dropping my S's.
This is amazing. It's amazing because you just couldn't come up with this.
I don't even know.
This is not.
This is real.
This is not something you can make up.
I need a scan. I need to go get an MRI, apparently.
The part of my brain that adds the S's.
The S.
It's just not
Doc,
firing.
can you check the S part of the brain?
I'll be on guard for the rest of this show.
Man.
Anyway, I will too. I'm going to speak like this, so I make sure if I'm talking about cups, I say cups. Anyways, I was making my prize picks lineup, and I looked at the projection, and for receptions, for Ladd, for Cuge, for Keenan, they were all 2.5.
Oh,
and I was like,
yeah, that's how it feels. I don't know if
I didn't take any of those.
No, I'll go Jefferson over all those guys.
Yeah, it's
and I might play Judy over everybody but Ladd. If you want to get into the, I don't know why Judy became the like
because the upside is large this week for Judy, but it's disgusting because
the downside is always there, even in good matchups.
Yes,
yeah, it's wild, and then that takes Herbert off the board for me. And I think there is nervousness around Mahomes in this game too, because last week was such a bad game.
Over the last 6 weeks, the Chargers are number 1 in fantasy points given up against quarterbacks.
Would you play Jacoby, the machine Brissett against Houston, or would you play Mahomes?
No, I would. I don't really want to play Jacoby either. But there are plenty of people I would play. I'd play Dart. I'd play Purdy. I'd definitely play Stafford. I'd play Mariota
over Mahomes.
Yes.
Man.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting into it. Let's take a break. More matchups, including the future Super Bowl champs.
With the U.S. Bank Smartly Visa Signature Card, you earn an unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. That's right, every purchase. 2% cash back at restaurants, 2% cash backs at the gym, which you'll need to burn off those restaurant calories. Groceries? Yep, you'll earn 2% cash back on those too. New tires, new outfits, New York City getaway, all earn 2% cash back. Noticing a trend? So whether you're splurging on concert tickets, fueling up for your commute, or shopping for that perfect birthday gift for the bestie, you'll be earning unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Visit usbank.com/smartlycard to learn more. The creditor and issuer of this card is U.S. Bank National Association, pursuant to a license from Visa USA Incorporated. Some restrictions may apply. Aura Frames is the hidden gem that becomes the favorite gift long after the wrapping paper is gone, and you can enjoy unlimited free photo and video uploads. Simply download the Aura app, connect to Wi-Fi, and start adding memories in seconds. Every gift can be personalized with a custom message that appears when it's first turned on, a very thoughtful touch for any occasion. And if there's that person in your family or your friend group that you really want to impress, that you hope years from now, they look back and they say, I remember when I got that. That's now changed how I experience like life because new photos are always coming up and new memories are showing up. That's the Aura Frame. And for a limited time, you could save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver Mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using the promo code FOOTBALLERS at checkout. That's Aura, A-U-R-A, frames.com, promo code FOOTBALLERS. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now in time for the holidays and support this show by mentioning us at checkouts. Terms and conditions apply.
This is a big one, guys.
Yeah.
This one it's exciting.
Wait, Green Bay's not in this matchup.
No, it's Buffalo.
I thought we were talking about the Super Bowl champ.
Maybe they'll be there. I think
Okay, fair.
someone asked me a couple days ago, and I said Buffalo, Green Bay. So that's where I'm at. Buffalo 9-4, New England 11-2. I will say this: if New England handles their business in this game, it will be a real solidifying moment for MVP Drake May. I think this is the kind of game that, like, he's already up there, but this is the kind of game that really puts you, it solidifies you, right? If you go to 12-2, dominant control of the division, right? Because if Buffalo wins this game, they're 10-4, you're 11-3. The division's still wide open. You win this game, it's not anymore. You're in the driver's seat, and your MVP is Drake May, to me. Buffalo, however, despite not leading the division, despite not being at home, they are 1.5-point favorites in the game. The over-under's 49.5. I think we said on the show 2 days ago that New England was favored. I don't think that was true. I think Buffalo's been at 1.5. The remaining schedule, the Patriots play the Ravens next week, then the Jets and Dolphins. Buffalo plays Cleveland, then the Eagles, then the Jets. So it'll be really close, but this is a big one. 49.5-point over-under. Love to see that.
This game should be awesome. And
I cannot wait.
I can't wait either. I see it differently than you, Andy. I would take the Patriots in this one. This is a team that is at home. Buffalo has not traveled super well recently. You look at Josh Allen and, at home against Cincinnati, the quarterback won. On the road, the 2 previous weeks, quarterback 14 and 22. At home against Tampa Bay, the quarterback won. It's just like, on the road against Miami, doesn't get to 20 fantasy points. And this team has, obviously it's Josh Allen, it's the Bills. They're a great team. They can beat anyone, and they can show up and be awesome, but they haven't been as consistent as I would want them to have been over the last couple months. It kind of feels like which version of the Bills are showing up. And I know that the schedule's been just to say it's cake it's not sweet enough. The schedule for the Patriots is basically no one. The only team that they've beat of note is this Bills team. But still the way they're playing, their rush defense has been so violent, so hardcore. And the fact that they're at home and they're playing a team in the Bills that when the Bills really, really win, this season it's been the running game that's done it.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The Bills' defense, what it has done all year long is stop the quarterback from scoring a lot of fantasy points. I don't know if that makes anybody stop playing Drake May this week, but it does put him in a vulnerable position in the first week of your fantasy playoffs.
Yeah,
because he's played well, and I imagine you're going to play him. But the Bills on the year, 11.8 fantasy points given up to quarterbacks. That's schedule adjusted, and only 13 in the last 6 weeks.
He's definitely one of the scariest plays this week because he's in 100% of lineups. Like, that's why it's scary.
Sure.
He's played so well. You do not bench him.
No, you have to play
it's a great
both these
over-under,
guys.
but you can see how it ends up poorly. Is this not like an island game?
I don't think so.
No. Shame on you, NFL. This should be – this is just a shame that it's in the 1 o'clock slate.
Josh Allen, Drake May. Play them both. James Cook, Travion Henderson.
Yeah, are you still confident in Hendo? He's getting opportunities.
I'm pretty confident. I will say, if you just look at the snap counts, they did go up for Ramondre last week.
Yes, they did. That's why
he went from
checking.
31% in his first week back to 58%. This is a dogfight game. This is a protect Drake May game. I would expect it to be about 50-50, and you're going to need a big play from Trevo. But the Bills' rush defense giving up 25 a game gives me enough confidence to definitely put him in my lineup. Especially, I'd play him over the kind of like the couple of the names we brought up, like the Chris Rodriguez and stuff.
Mm-hmm. He's my running back 14 this week, so I'm very confident that he'll break a couple big runs and have a good game.
Really haven't had anything out of Stephon Diggs in the last 2 weeks. He's also playing the lowest snaps of the year. I don't know if you saw that or been tracking it.
I didn't
Under
realize
50% the last 2 weeks.
Interesting.
Kayshon Boutte, ironically, came back the last 2 weeks. So the rotation that they built without Boutte in the lineup, Diggs is paying the price a little bit for Boutte's return because Boutte's playing 75 to 80%.
Yeah, I will remind us of what I mentioned yesterday, which is coming out of the bye week, Stephon Diggs has massive bonuses on his catches and yardage coming up, and also this is like one of those revenge games where against Buffalo, like they played once before, and he was 12 targets, 10 receptions for 146 yards against Buffalo. He's going to be up for this one.
So you'd play him?
Yeah, I like Diggs.
I like Boutte more.
I think I'd play Boutte.
Kayshon Boutte, that is.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to take Boutte, but if you mean Kayshon, I'll go Diggs.
Jason, where is Josh Jacobs ranked for you this week?
Terrifying.
Breaking news.
LaFleur says Josh Jacobs is unlikely to practice today.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Do they play Monday? Tell me they play Monday.
I'd-
Someone tell me they play Monday.
I don't think so.
Someone look it up.
I'm going to double check that one.
You
for
have the power.
I can't. My hands don't work.
No, they're the afternoon game for us.
He's-
Sunday.
Oh, no.
He's been battling through it, quote, we'll see.
And it's against Denver in Denver, right? I need
You got Emmanuel Wilson on the bench, right?
Oh, no.
No, I don't.
Who has him? Is it Mike?
No, I don't have
Oh, man.
All right.
No, your opponent.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Your opponent has Emmanuel Wilson.
No.
Yeah.
I hate fantasy football so much. Josh Jacobs, I need you.
Oh no.
I need you to look. This is a good thing. No,
it's
this is a
just-
good thing.
Can be
This is,
rested.
this is a good thing.
What?
They know how
shouts
much
into
they,
the mirror.
They know how much they need Josh Jacobs this week. He's got to get a little extra rest as he's working through. This is great news.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
This is great news. Josh Jacobs I'm moving him up. I'm
great
moving him up.
Oh.
They are resting him for massive workload.
You saw the
Massive workload. He's never going to have more work than this week.
You saw the quote though, right?
No, I haven't seen the quote.
He's been battling through it. We'll see on whether he'll play this week.
No. Coach jokes. That's a good one, LaFleur.
Coach jokes. Hashtag coach jokes.
I'm just goofing.
I'm joking. Oh my gosh, you have to play Joshua. Oh man. Okay.
Just letting you sit in
This
it.
is the first time in what show is this? 1,000-something. My hands are sweating. My hands are sweating right now. Oh, I feel
no.
Show
You
1864.
Need a barf bag?
both hand. That one was on purpose.
Oh my goodness. Sorry to break in there. We're not playing Buffalo Whiteouts, right?
No.
Do they
No,
have
no.
them?
I mean, if you did play one, you played Khalil Shakir.
Sure.
And, it's
He
Dalton
shows
Kincaid.
up in bigger games, but yeah, it's Dalton Kincaid.
I don't have the stat in front of me, but when Dalton Kincaid is playing, he basically accounts for like 40% of their yards receiving.
Wow.
Also, who my opponent has.
Well, Dalton Kincaid?
Yeah. So,
Man.
I'm.
He's
if
going to
you-
find that fishing
I
well
was going to
any
say
day.
if there are fishing rod recommendations, because I'm not a fisherman.
No.
I don't
No,
have
you're
one,
not.
so I need to purchase a rod. So if you want to just let me know what a good option
There's
is
a lot of
out
good
there.
local wells around here to catch fish if
Yeah.
you need to get in there.
Yeah.
The Washington Commanders at 3-10 take on the 2-11 New York Giants. This is the most implied points that the Giants have had all year, 25, because it's a Giants by 2.5 game. Over under 47.5.
Commanders have quietly been one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They don't get enough credit. Like we talk about the Cowboys, we talk about the Bengals, and we always say, oh, this is a good matchup for this or that, but like they're terrible. They're downright atrocious.
And not to just beat the dead horse. Like that's my concern with Jefferson is the Washington is terrible, and Jefferson and J.J. McCarthy got it done. Jefferson did not.
No, it's a very fair concern. This is
but
the
back
Giants,
to this game.
Giants have lost 7 in a row. The Washington Commanders have lost 8 in a row.
Someone has to win.
Part of me thinks that
Giants keep losing.
Dan Quinn
keep losing,
they've
baby.
dealt with a lot of injuries, but Dan Quinn hits me a little bit like Doug Peterson. When he gets to a team, it's powerful. He moves, these guys to play hard for him, but it slows down. And the defense is supposed to be his calling card. It hasn't been good. Jackson Dart just started the week, Mike. Marcus Mariota, 5 top 10 fantasy finishes over the last 2 years, despite only starting 6 games. He is
he's playable.
He's in play this week. When you look at Mahomes, you can see how it goes really, really bad. I don't see how Mariota doesn't put up 15 fantasy points, 20 fantasy points. So both of these guys in play. Chris Rodriguez, we've talked about it at length. If he plays, I'm playing him. Devin Singletary on the other side, 2 top 12 finishes in 3 games. It's interesting.
Yeah, the split with Tyrone Tracy is really seemingly like a 50-50 split. That both guys get a lot of work. You've got Tyrone Tracy was injured. He had the hip injury. We don't know because they were on bye exactly how bad it is. It sounded like it was not really that big a deal. It does make me put Devin Singletary in ahead of Tyrone Tracy. I would order it that way. But I don't view it as Singletary's a must-play because Tracy's just injured. I think it's going to be a timeshare.
Yeah, I would prefer Singletary.
Other decisions in the game, Theo Johnson, Mike start of the week at tight end. We'll see if Ben Sinnott gets an opportunity. And you got Debo and
better not say that again.
Yeah, I thought it was Sinnott.
Yeah, it is for you.
I am.
Is it not?
No, it's Sinnott.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Sinnott.
Yeah, I'm fair. We looked that up once. Remember when we used to be able to talk about him?
I loved Ben.
I think that's why we call him the Senator.
Well, also because he's from Washington.
TBD.
It worked
well, that
itself
just
out.
that happened afterwards.
All right, Ben Sinnott. I
Yeah.
won't.
Someone double-check
I won't
this.
mess with that. We'll go Ben Sinnott.
I've picked him up wherever I can in hopes that he does take the Zach Ertz role. I'm not.
I thought you just picked him up for the chance to maybe play him against Mike to taunt Mike with him.
Well, that was just icing on the cake in that league. But no, I mean, I do think he is someone where at the waiver show next week, it could easily be like, okay, he's the number 1 tight end pickup. The matchups are coming up are great. He plays Dallas in the championship week. So we don't know enough, and we have not seen enough to start him this week.
Correct.
But I would like to
What's so brutal about it is you can't start him this week as much as that would just be glorious for me and my love of the player. Can't start him this week. Next week is Philly.
Right.
So like even if
you're holding him for the
let's say
championship week.
the Senator does something this week and you're like, well, I can't really play him against Philly, and then he has a bad game against Philly. Well, no, I can't play him against
put him
Dallas.
in my championship against you.
Yeah, the situations that exist where Ben Sinnott is playing for teams seem.
It's also for dynasty
remote.
purposes.
Yeah. This is
looking for.
That's
next
more what
year.
I'm looking for. Is can we have 4 games or so? Can Ben Sinnott really take that take that role for Washington?
The Las Vegas Raiders are 2-11. They take on the 8-5 Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia minus 11.5. The over/under's 38.5.
Oh,
They should not. They should not have a problem here.
Kenny Pickett.
38.5, and they're favored by 11.5.
Is that the starter for the Raiders?
That is, yeah. Kenny Pickett will be starting with the shoulder injury to Geno.
Former backup for Philadelphia, right? They had him
a
for
little
they had him for a
bit, yeah.
I
time.
forgot about that.
The Eagles are going to win.
Yeah,
Do they cover 11.5? I don't know.
yeah.
Probably.
How does Las Vegas possibly score? I mean,
It's not possible.
their implied total is 13.5.
Take the
Do
under.
they get to 13.5? I don't think so.
No.
10? Okay. 13.5.
6.
Just 2 field goals?
Yes.
Oh, you know that Carroll's going to kick them field goals
Yeah,
if he
you
has
will.
if he has a chance.
Let's say they get to 10.
Okay.
I'm not sure the Eagles cover.
That might be true.
The Eagles' offense has just not been putting up a lot of points.
A.J. Brown has, though, number 5, number 1, number 12 in their 3 straight losses. Hopefully he's happy. Saquon got it done with the big run last week. You play Saquon, you play A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith, he makes me a little nervous. He's in a lineup for me. The matchup's good. I'm just going to go with it, but you wonder how much they're going to need the wideouts in this one. The defense plus the running game. That's my worry. You want to get it early. First half, you hope Devontae Smith is involved, gets one of the early touchdowns.
Yep.
And, you can play Brock Bowers and you can play Ashton Genty and you can pray.
What are you doing with
it's a play and pray.
What with Goddard, who
nothing
magically jumped up to 10 targets?
Yeah, I'm
past
doing
week.
nothing.
Nothing?
Way
Okay.
better matchups. Just too many people.
What are you doing with Jalen Hurts?
I'm going to keep playing Jalen Hurts. You can always push a couple of touchdowns in. He was obviously abysmal this last week with 5 turnovers and 2 fantasy points. But while he's been playing bad, yes, I did. While he's been playing poorly, and the Eagles have not been scoring a lot, and Jalen Hurts has not been dominating for fantasy, he has still been good. He's still putting up fantasy points where it's like you start him.
There was a Nest Cam video of a police officer that showed up at a guy's house.
Oh, yes.
Doing a welfare check, and the guy just comes to the door. He's like, dude, the Eagles lost. He's like, are you going to harm yourself? He's no, I'm not going to harm myself. The Eagles. I saw a Facebook post he made after an Eagles loss. I mean, the Philadelphia
Philly fans, they take it serious, man.
They do. They
oh man.
Only Philly fans could be so full of hatred for their current Super Bowl champion Eagles.
Yes.
Like you guys are the current Super Bowl champions, and you hate yourselves.
Yeah.
You hate the team and the coaches and the quarterback.
And
I'll trade you. Trade it all to the Cardinals.
Yeah, you can.
Not only that, they have a 91% chance to win the division.
Yeah.
You're going to be in the playoffs,
with
man.
a home game.
With an elite defense.
Yeah, you're going to probably win the Super Bowl.
No.
I
thought the Buffalo
You're probably
Bills
going to
were-
make the Super Bowl.
Well, I thought it was Green Bay.
You're probably going to make the title game. My point is they have as good of a chance as anybody, despite all the sadness.
They're still a very good team. It's just lopsided where they're getting it done.
Speaking of lopsided, New York 3-10, Jacksonville 9-4. Jacksonville playing well with the highest implied point total all year, 27.5 against New York. New York with a 14-point implied point total. This game is somewhat similar to the previous one. Good defense for Jacksonville. They're 13.5-point favorites. The over-under is 41.5. But, I mean, you play your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, yes, we
Lawrence, ETN, BTJ, Jacoby Myers,
do.
Brenton Strange.
Yeah.
Start them all up.
All are in play.
I also think if you're in a deep league, you backed into the playoffs, you maybe have Josh Jacobs and he gets injured or whatever. Tootin, despite playing 3%, like this is a game where I'm hoping that somehow the Jets can score enough to where this doesn't become a second half, rest ETN and put in Tootin, but I could see that world existing.
I see no world existing where I like anybody on the Jets this week.
No.
And that includes Breece Hall. I would be trying not to play him if I could.
He was limited.
Brady Cook might start.
Limited in practice. This is not literally no Jet. Not even
Brady Cook,
Mousen.
all due respect, sounds like a creative player on Madden. Like they just spun one up, printed him out, and he's replacing Tyrod and Justin Fields. It's going to be a really long day for you. And it's in Jacksonville.
This game is.
It's not I won't be watching that one closely.
I mean, I have some
or at least near when
I got
I've
some
eaten
Jags.
food.
I got some Jags offensive players that I'm going to be watching.
The Cardinals are 3-10. They take on the 8-5 Houston Texans, who are on a roll. Houston 9.5-point home favorites. Over/unders 42. Here we are again. Cardinals just 16 points. Implied point total. This is the largest spread of the entire C.J. Stroud era for Houston. This is the largest spread for the Texans since Week 6 of 2018.
Wow.
They have won 5 in a row. Their defense is incredible. They can run the football with Woody Marks. Nico Collins is on a roll. The Cardinals are going to have a really, really hard time. Their offensive line, it took another hit this week. Paris Johnson is out for the year. They have no running game. This is the Cardinals right now. This is why they lose every game, despite the fact that we come in here and tell you Jacoby Brissett is awesome with 45, 47, 49 pass attempts. They don't have a running game of any kind. So Jacoby can string a few completions together, gain some yardage, then they can still not score, and they can still not move the football.
The Cardinals
and he can still get sacked.
It really comes down to like Trey McBride. There's no way I'm benching Trey McBride, but it's Michael Wilson. Should again, you have to do the algebra. If Marv is out, then Michael Wilson becomes a play. The matchup is horrifically bad.
I'm playing him over the Judys of the world.
Okay, so
sure.
there still is enough confidence that he'll see what the double-digit targets.
10, 11 targets.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, this game, again, the Cardinals, one of the rules of the NFL, they will have to possess the ball during the game.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that they're going to make them do. It might
played-
be 3 plays.
Yeah, this is a tough one because what Michael Wilson and Jacoby Brissett have been doing has helped people sneak in the playoffs. And, you know, we've talked about, like, this has not been a situation where you should pivot away from these guys. This is the first time, though, where I really do think the Cardinals are going to struggle. And the only way that the offense and the passing game works against this team that has shut down everyone, that is at home, is going to be like, you're just praying for garbage time.
Let me ask you a couple names here. Michael Wilson or DK Metcalf against Miami?
Metcalf.
Michael Wilson or Jacoby Myers against the Jets?
I think Michael Wilson, like, they're number one, the Texans, against quarterbacks and wide receivers, but it is fully consolidated. They have nobody. Marvin Harrison, all their other, you know, they already lost Dorsch. They lost everybody else. It's consolidated to McBride. It's consolidated to Michael Wilson. And I think he's double digits.
Okay.
I think Michael Wilson's 10 points.
So still very startable.
To me, he is. Not to Jason.
I'm not super excited. Right now I have him as my wide receiver 26. So that is someone that you're going to start in the flex. That's, you know, in there.
That's probably 8 to 10 points, right?
Yeah, somewhere around that range.
So you talked about Woody Marks, your start of the week, Mike. You're playing Nico. Jason, you said pay attention to Jaden Higgins earlier in the week.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Higgins has been pretty good. You know, not necessarily like a great fantasy option. Decent. I mean, he's been top 36 in the majority of his games after the bye, and he's a second-round rookie. This is a good matchup, so I think you could throw him in an emergency, but he's also an emerging wide receiver. So I'm just happy to see him be really good. And if you watch the actual Texans games and how they come about, there have been so many really important times, really big necessary plays where they're going to Higgins and he's making the play. He's making just a man move, and that's to me really exciting for the future of a young wide receiver.
What happened to Noel?
I know, right?
It's really a bummer.
Yeah.
Especially around Christmas.
Oh.
The first
No.
the top 5 start sit questions. I'm going to rattle them off real quick before we close out. You ready?
All right.
Emeka Ibuka or DK Metcalf is number 1.
I'd play Ibuka.
Metcalf.
Amarian Hampton or Emeka Ibuka is number 2.
I think it's safer to play Hampton, but if I need to kaboom in the playoffs, I'd play Ibuka.
Number 3, Emeka Ibuka or Christian Watson.
Goodness gracious!
Wow, they're all
It kind of makes
Ibuka.
sense because you're making decisions today
Yeah.
for the Thursday game.
Okay.
Christian Watson or Ibuka, I'm going to play Ibuka. It's Denver, by the way, for Green Bay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yep.
yeah.
I'll play
Isaiah
Ibuka.
Likely, Tyler Warren.
I would
I'm going to play Isaiah Likely.
I'm going to play Likely.
Jason's got a grimace.
Yeah, I will play Likely. Come on, Philip.
And then Joe Burrow or Drake May is the last one.
That's
interesting.
Tough one.
They're back to back in my rankings. I mean, I was like, you're not going to sit
play
Drake May.
Burrow.
But yeah, I guess if I've got Burrow, I think that, you know, the only people I would sit Drake May for realistically would probably be Burrow, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, and maybe
Not Lamar?
Yeah, no Lamar.
That was Fantasy Forecast presented by Prize Picks. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Use the code Footballers to get $50 in lineups when you play $5. And you were saying the Jacobs news is good again? Is that
It's so, dude, you are getting prepped for a huge workload.
just so rested.
Go get him.
So
Jacobs.
rested.
Go get him.
You mean go get that rest?
Go get that rest. Go get that workload.
Get them Z's.
Oh, man.
Goodbye.
Please.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.